In this video in the series of Zoho One applications you should be using, we're going to look at Zoho Sign. Zoho Sign is an application for workflow of signatures and in contracts that you have with your employees, your coworkers, your suppliers, your customers, and any other type of contract that requires a signature, and where it's helpful to have some workflow around it. Now, when you open Zoho Sign, you basically have two options. You have send something for signatures and sign something yourself. If you sign something yourself, then it's basically a contract that comes in from an external party. Let's run through that example first. So if I say sign myself, and I just can either drag or drop a file in here, I'm just going to choose an upload. I've created a mock-up contract. Don't look at it as anything special. It's just to show what it's going to look at. Okay, I've uploaded the file. You can do multiple files, which it then combines into a single signature document. So what do you have here? Checkboxes. You put your name, date, initials, and signature. So how it works is if I want to put a checkbox in here, you just basically pick up the checkbox and you move it around to where the checkbox is on the document itself. If you want to put in your full name, you just drag and drop it, and it takes it from the settings in your demo account. Now this is Carl Zoho user or Zohauser. It's my demonstration account, and the signature, the name is put up here. The same thing happens with the sign date. It just automatically defaults to the date you pull it in. If you want to have an initial, so if you put your initials in there in the first place, you can very simply put your initials here and a signature. Here we go. So how that works, if I click on signature, if you haven't actually created one yet, it will tell you how to either type it, which uses some sort of a handwriting-like font. Obviously that is not your signature, so I would not recommend it. You can draw it on the screen, or if you have a tablet with a pen, you can draw it in here, or you can upload from a scanned image. I would suggest a PNG format. Okay, just gonna cancel that. I'm using here one of the fonts, and this document is now done. Once I click finish, this will then be converted to a PDF with your entries in there, and I can choose to send it out immediately and send and close. And then I obviously need to enter an email address, and the person then receives an email saying, hey, here's a document that's signed, you can download it here. So there's actually a link to the document that's sent. I'm just going to close it, and what it does, it puts this document into the completed mock-up contract here. See, it is here completed. I've done one earlier as well. And I can just open it from here, and I can download a copy. Here we go, and it is a download PDF. I'm just going to open it. And here you go. So see, it's actually put up nicely all the areas that I dragged into the document. And that's how you sign a document. Now, what if you want to send a document for signature? If you want to send a document for signature, it's actually the same thing, but now you actually allow other people to sign something for you, and give them access to this program as well as a guest user. So what you do is you upload a file again. I'm just going to upload the same file. Alright, it's a mock-up contract. You can set when does it need to be completed. So you can say 15 days, or it needs to be completed tomorrow. It's up to you, and then it actually starts sending reminders. You can also say here, how long is this agreement valid? You can say it's forever, or it actually has an expiry date on the 16th of February or something like that. You can put it into a document type. I just put it in a test contract. Now these are type of documents that you can group and sort on later. And if you have a folder structure in place, you can also add it to a specific folder, which makes it easier for you to find your documents back. And you can add a little description here. Now you can add a number of recipients, and you can send this in a particular order so that multiple people actually sign it. So for instance, and you add here an email address, This is obviously not a real email address, so I will change that later, and I'm gonna add myself. Why? Because, for instance, I will countersign something, and as soon as that workflow is in, you will it will send those emails out for signature. But we will need to modify the file as well in order to actually enter where the signature is expected. So we'll do that in the next step. So here's the document that I've sent up. Now, what I have not yet done is indicate where your signatures are expected and where the checkboxes are expected. So what you do is for the recipient, I'm going to add the checkbox here, and here are the checkbox options. And I'm going to add where the name should be. So, and I'm going to put the sign date here. An initial, it's just an example, right? So obviously you'll make yours look a little bit nicer than this, and this is where you put in the signature. Okay, that's done. But we're not completely done yet, because we have another person. Carl is going to countersign. So now we're in Carl's setting, and I want Carl just to say signature goes here, and I want the full name underneath there, just to know that we know who signed it, and I want to have the company name here, for instance. Okay, so that allows for the countersigning. It's all done, and we can just hit send. Now when it is sent, it actually verifies which senders it's going to set, how many fields each one has. So that's correct, there's 6 fields here, 2 checkboxes, etc., and then the 4 input fields. And for Aurelian, for Carl, there's 3 checkboxes, 3 input fields where he can countersign. You see also that the fields for Carl are in green. Those are the ones for your company, and the external ones are in blue. Alright, I'll just say confirm, and it starts sending out the document. It has been submitted and it has been sent. So when the recipient of the contract receives the email that you need to sign a contract, there's a little button that says, okay, click here to start sign. So start signing. Okay. The first thing that needs to happen is that the person needs to agree to the terms and conditions, because we're dealing with a legally binding contract, or potentially legally binding contract. So let's just read the terms and conditions. And here it says, okay, this is an electronic document. You can get a paper copy of it. You can withdraw your consent for using your signature. And you can advise, obviously you should advise the company of your new email address. That says demo company here, which is the name of my demonstration company. It will be your company name if you use it here. And what the system requirements are for signing this document. So let's just say I agree. Now as soon as I do that, I can actually start signing. If I don't do that, I cannot start signing. There's some more actions here. You can actually say assign it to someone else. You can decline it or skip signing, which I would not recommend, because that's, you should basically let someone know that you're not interested by declining. So let's do a start signing. Okay, what here it says here, select the checkbox. It's an optional field, so it's not mandatory. You don't have to check anything. But if I want to check it, then I can do that here. And if I say, oh, I didn't want to have that one, just click it again. Then you can enter your full name. So if we go to full name here, then you can enter my name. Sign date, it will automatically populate the sign date. Your initials, now you haven't as a guest user made your profile yet, so you can choose to draw your signature with a pen. Let's do, so that looks like a signature, and you can draw an initial. Alright. So the initial here picks it automatically from the initial field, and the signature, once I click it, picks it from the signature field. Once I click finish, the next person in the workflow, which is Carl, will receive a message that, hey, there is something ready for you to be signed, and it's an email, and then click here, etc. But there's something else as well. So as soon as I hit finish, it's signed, and you can download a copy. Again, I'm just going to open that. And you see here is the copy, but it hasn't been countersigned yet. So what I'm going to do now is close this one, and I go back to close this one, back to Zoho Sign, and I'm still logged in as Carl. And what we'll see here is, once it opens, that I have a document that needs my signature. Carl will also receive an email. You have a document for your signature, and clicks it from there. So it's not that you have to go in there, is there anything to sign for me right now? So you just go to click the mockup contract, and now I'm logged in as Carl, so you see that it has different fields that need to be signing. Okay, close. Again, you need to agree to the terms and conditions. And what you see here is what's done by the person that I asked the signature from. And now I'm just going to click here as Carl, and I've already updated my signature as Carl, as we've seen in the last section where I signed a document myself that came in from a third party. I just click here, start signing. I just click here, and it picks up the signature, my name, and the company name from the details of the document, and click finish, and it's done. I can download it, can email it to me. I don't have to do any of these because they're part of my organization. I have access to it, and it will be neatly stored in my organization's documents that are signed. So if I go to documents, it is neatly stored in here. The mockup contract signed by Carl and signed by the customer, and it's completed at this day and this time. And that's actually all you should know about Zoho Sign to make it work. In order to automate it, you can actually set up some templates. So if you reuse the same type of document over and over, you actually create a template for that, and you can reuse that every time you have something to sign. I hope this is useful, and if you're a Zoho One subscriber, please check out Zoho Sign if you don't use it already, and also subscribe to my channel here, where I will be showing more information videos on particular programs, as well as particular how-to videos. So subscribe below. Thank you so much.